Hi everyone, joining us today is Maanvi Gagroo and the director Rahul talking about the virtual play Islands of Contentment. Rahul and Maanvi, this is a first timer, a virtual production transporting the audience to the subject matter via Zoom. Please tell us, both of you, how you worked with this new medium as an actor and a director.
Rahul, you go first.
I'll go first. Okay.
Yeah.
So, this is a lovely play and a show which comprises 13 monologues, and all monologues are written by Dipti Bramhandkar, who's a playwright, and they they deal with various issues and moments in these people's lives, and all the text is about relationships between characters and about themselves. And Arpita Mukherjee, who's the producer of the play and also the co-director of the play, she has been a creative partner with me for many years. We've written a lot of stuff together, and I know her theater company in New York because I have been there a couple of times. And she asked me if I would be interested in filming 5 monologues with 5 actors of my choice. And what attracted me the most is that this is the first of its kind because she wanted to cast only South Asian actors or BIPOC actors. And I thought that was terrific because it's fully mounted by South Asians and people of color, which is terrific in current times. What I put forth in front of Arpita was that I'd love to choose actors of my choice and people I love from India as well, not just Indian actors who reside elsewhere. And she gave me a clean ground to play with, and that's how I reached out to actors that I love and admire, and Maanvi being one of them, because we met about 3-4 years ago when I made a film called Azad, which she saw a couple of times, and I told her that we must work together because I've loved her work, right from No One Killed Jessica to 4 More Shots Please, to all the work that she's done over the years. And that's how I wrote to her, and I said, hey, there's this exciting piece of work that I'm diving into. Would you like to participate? And she wrote back immediately saying yes. So then I'll leave it to her.
Great.
So,
tell us about your journey.
So like Neeru, like he just mentioned, his opening sentence in the text that he sent me was that I told you I'll only call you when there's something exciting, and here I am calling you, like getting in touch with you for something really exciting. So I thought, like the minute he mentioned it, I thought the format was very interesting because this is something I haven't done before. That you pre-record a monologue and then you play it out for people to watch, for a live audience to watch, and an audience that I wouldn't otherwise have access to. So that was. That was something that excited me initially, right in the beginning. And then, of course, when he sent me the monologue, I read it and I thought it was, then we had this whole discussion about it. And yeah, like I mean, anyway, for me, this whole, when it comes to, I'm talking specifically for this monologue, that, when it comes to marriage, and of course, I'm only familiar with the Indian marriage system. I'm not very familiar with any other marriage system. But so when it comes to that, I have a lot of views on it. I have a lot of opinions. There's so much I want to say and, stuff. But so for me, it was exciting that I'm playing this girl who's, got this thing in her horoscope, and everything else is fine. It hasn't come up before. It probably won't come up again. But somehow for the wedding thing, this glitch comes in, and how no matter how much we tell ourselves, no matter how much we reason out with things, and we're thinking beings, and we are exposed to so much, and then suddenly, but when there's a seed of doubt, when there's a seed of superstition that's put in, and especially when you feel like the stakes are higher, that and then suddenly then the most reasonable of minds fall prey to blind faith and superstition and all of that. So that was, I thought, the interplay of all these factors was a great thing to kind of start with.
Amazing. Maanvi, this is also your first global project, and you're working with seasoned actors like Kalki and Suraj Sharma. So how do you feel, taking your acting to the next level?
It's very exciting, and I've always, Neeru, I did this one Hollywood project, not Hollywood, but it was actually an Indo-British Australian venture. Like it was a film which
Australian.
was
I,
also,
I
yeah,
I am interviewing you from Australia.
I know. So in fact, I don't know if you know this guy, Nick Summer Bodhi Nick.
Yes, yes.
So he was directing the film, and it
Amazing.
was a great crew, and a large part of it was shot in India, and I was in it, and I really enjoyed the experience for various reasons. I mean, it was professional, everything was streamlined,
Yeah.
and on top of that, the in terms of acting preparation, there was a lot of support I felt from the
Okay.
director and his team, and all of that. It was great fun, but it got shelved, and there
Oh,
was and then it never saw the light of the day. But yeah, so I've always wanted to kind of uh, take my, anyway feel that with the internet coming in, this is like the
yeah.
biggest, plus point of internet is that it brings people of the same tribe together, so I feel artists coming together, creators coming together is a great thing. And there's so much exchange now, beyond borders and continents and everything. So yeah, I've always wanted to take my work to people
Yeah.
beyond the current audience or whatever, and just have it like, explode in a way that everybody, whoever wants to watch it, can watch it. So yeah, this is a great way to do that. Yeah, it's a great start.
Amazing, amazing. And Rahul, you've also you are an international director. You've creatively collaborated with Mira and I on Reluctant Fundamentalists and A Suitable Void. So, as a director with this play, how have you infused your creativity?
It's this was particularly very interesting because at its core, it's a theatrical play.
Mm-hmm.
But when Arpita told us that we need to film it, my DOP, Ishit Narayan, and we were very clear that we'd shoot it cinematically, yet we won't let the theatrical experience get lost. So all the 5 monologues that I'm filming with Maanvi, Suraj, Sumit Vyas, Kalki, and Vinay Pathak, they're all done in one take. And pretty much the camera is still. So it's kind of going back to the basics when we all started off, saying when we had nothing and we had to create something out of nothing. And that's something that Manvi and I also discussed, that how do we,
Yeah.
this is the frame, how do we create a story in 8 minutes with just moving around and this text? And that was very interesting and very different from what we usually do in film. Uh,
I
Also, just to
remember
add,
when we started shooting, Rahul and I were both like, why can't we take different angles? We only wish we could cut it and do different shots with
yeah,
different angles. And both of us were like, and Rahul was like, yeah, I know, but we have to make this happen. It has to be a one
yeah,
shot. It has to be a one angle thing. And
yeah.
yeah,
But it makes you think so much because we still have an introduction, like Manvi,
correct.
we introduce her in a very interesting way. She still moves around, but still the 8 minutes is pretty captivating, I think. Just to add to the project as well, what's very interesting about this is when the audience sees it, they would be seeing film performances clubbed with live performances. So it's all going to be mixed live, like in a play in any theater. So hopefully the audience won't know which one is filmed and which one is live, unless they watch this interview, which they should. So, so that they book the
Yes, they
tickets.
will. No, they will. Manvi, you bring life to every character you play, and you've done some really meaningful roles. But how do you go about when you choose such characters?
Neeru, honestly, touch wood, I've had the fortune of getting a lot of these good parts, and 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 I think for me, it's one is about how excited I am about the project, about the character, about the people I'm working with. I mean, it has to stimulate me in one way or another. It has to either get me excited, it has to, or stimulate me into thinking something or whatever. And because I work on the process that the person watching is also working like that. The person watching also wants to be stimulated, wants to be moved in one way or another, whether cerebrally or viscerally. So So yeah, if anything comes my way which is stimulating, I'll say yes to it. It also, a lot of it depends on the people actually, because I feel that I only want to work with people that I either like or get along with,
Yeah.
or respect in terms of their work or body of work. So and I think it's important, because all this that we do, it's essentially, it's very collaborative, right? In the end,
Absolutely.
it's like minds coming together and people coming together. So it's important for me to enjoy the other person, the people that I'm working with, and for me to understand what they're saying and for them to understand me. So even with this, actually, because like Rahul reached out and I knew him, I was like, I knew it's not going to be a shit show. I mean, that was something I was assured of, that it's not. I mean, if he's helming the thing, that it's not going to be a complete disaster. So that was my starting point. And then,
Hopefully.
we
And
went
then the
ahead, and
truth
of
got revealed.
no, and then with further conversations, I realized that he was very clear. Rahul was very clear about how he wanted to shoot it. At the same time, he left room for us to kind of move around in terms of ideas. That okay, he wasn't fixated on this one idea, so we bounced off ideas, and then we just, like, it just happened. And I also feel that when your intention is right, I mean, I know it sounds like really Hallmark
Cliche. No,
cardy,
it
but
doesn't.
but when and things just, when your intentions are right, when your efforts are in the right direction or whatever, and towards that, it just, everything falls into place. And like there's this one line in our piece that we did. There's this one line. So we were shooting it at my place, and with
Okay.
pretty much this kind of lighting, and
Do
like
you have the
daytime
Friends
around.
poster in the background?
I have a Friends poster in the background. Yeah. No. So and suddenly, like, there's this one line in the play where she's kind of directly looking into the mirror and speaking, and it just so happened that the daylight outside, like, there was one huge cloud that kind of came in, and suddenly the light just dimmed, and it became like it gave it like a reddish hue, and and that is something that had we been doing a live performance or even a recording,
Yeah.
we might have done that anyway. In a live performance, a stage performance, the person on the lights would have probably changed the light at this point to another color, or just in terms of intensity, and it happened naturally. And we were all like, oh my God, our minds were blown. Like, the first time it happened, our minds were
Yeah.
blown. We were like, what? How did that happen? Like, it was beautiful. And I feel that
Yeah.
happened because, we were all kind of in it with a clear heart. And I mean, I don't know if Rahul's going to use that particular take
We used that
or
take.
not.
It happened
You
twice
use that
actually.
take?
Yeah, we
Oh,
used that
yeah?
take.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. So, yeah,
Yeah.
it just like,
It
yeah,
just flow very naturally. Manvi, you've
it does.
also talked about body positivity through your films and your views. So, what change do you think you brought to Indian cinema?
Again, this is something that I found. This was not something I intended to do. Like, it's not that or that body positivity was a cause that I wanted to take up always, because for me it wasn't even an issue. Like, I always thought that it's only when actually when I came into this industry that I was told that you look a certain way or you don't look a certain way and all of that, and that's when I was like, oh, okay. So, I remember somebody, while casting me for a project, they told me, it's really hard to place you in a character because you're neither too skinny to be a lead, or, whatever, nor are you a really fat girl who I can cast as a fat girl. So you're somewhere in the middle. And I was like, yeah. And it's called reality, and that's what real women are. I mean, not everybody will fit into your black and white mold. There'll be different kinds. So, and it goes for everything, whether it's size, skin color, height, hair length. I mean, you'll always have different kinds, and so they were so yeah, so I didn't realize these things till a lot of people started coming up to me saying, it's, in fact, even so, when like fans come up to me or people come up to me and say that they like my work and stuff, so a lot of them are young girls who are like, you're just so amazing, and how you pull off every outfit and this and that. And that's when I realized that, oh, this is something that is resonating with people, and maybe I should talk about it, because there are young girls who are suffering from body image issues, and I didn't have that. I was privileged to not have those issues, but there are girls who still do. And it's amazing with social media and everything. It's getting worse, actually, because you only see pictures of other people with like tons of filters and looking beautiful in different locations and having a great time, and you feel like your life is trash. But that's not true. That they're not. I mean, there's so much filtering happening, which is fine on social media. I mean, but for young girls to understand that, and that's when I kind of started talking about body positivity and about like different changing beauty standards, especially in mainstream entertainment and stuff. And it simultaneously, parallelly, because of OTT platforms coming in, there was this need for newer and fresher faces, or different kinds of faces, or different kinds of performances, different stories. So it just kind of happened parallelly for me, that I was also getting work that where I could kind of just play different characters, and at the same time there was conversation about body positivity and all of that, and it just collided. And
All
yeah,
happened.
the funny thing is, I've never called myself skinny or plump or anything. Like, I've never assigned an adjective to myself, but it's only other people who are like, oh,
Yeah.
you've lost so much weight, or oh, you put on weight, or whatever. And I'm just like, yeah, I mean, I'm not doing
Amazing.
anything. So
Amazing. Thank you so much talking to both of you guys. Thank you so much for the interview today. And all the best
thank
to
you.
both of
Thank
you.
you.
I'm sure everybody's going to love the monologue. And is there anything you want to say to your audience?
Maanvi, you
Rahul.
go.
Okay, no. So please watch the performance. Please watch the entire show. Um, it's representing a different diaspora, so that might be something interesting. These are also stories and monologues that will force you to think on one issue or another, or just make you feel certain things which you could leave with. Also, yeah, actually, that's about it.
Yeah, it's very
Amazing.
entertaining and it's very quick.
And it's very
So
entertaining.
yeah, it's very funny, all of them, and it's very quick. So it's a nice night out with whoever you want to watch it.
That's great. Thank you so
Thanks.
much once again, and all the best.
Thank
Thank
you,
you. Thank
Neeru.
you.
Take
Bye.
care.
Bye.